12, let's look at another lesson on compound angles. Without the use of a calculator, determine the value of each of the following, and then they give you two questions. So we're starting with question 1. When you look at question 1, you'll notice that this looks like a compound angle because you have a cos and a sine and a sine, and there is a plus. But grade 12s, we have a problem. Angle A, angle B. Look here, A and B. Do you see that this A and that A is not the same? This B and that B is not the same. So step number 1 is to make the A's the same and to make the B's the same. To make them the same, I'm going to reduce the angles. So remember in grade 11, we reduce angles when they are bigger than 90. So I'm reducing that one, and that one. When I reduce, I'm going to put it in brackets. Because remember, it's this times this. And it's this times this. The plus is separating the terms. Cos 320 becomes cos 360 minus 40. Because that will give me 320. Cos 20 will stay the same because it's smaller than 90. Sine 140 becomes sine 180 minus 40. And sine 200 becomes sine 180 plus 20. Okay? Now I'm going to reduce. Remember, it's the cos of 40. So this is cos 40. And this whole bracket is in quadrant 4 and cos is a positive. So this is a positive. Then this times cos 20. Plus. This is sine 40. So I write the sine 40. The bracket is in quadrant 2, where sine is a positive, so I keep it like that. And then this is sine 20, but the bracket is in quadrant 3, and sine is a negative, so I keep that. So now, let me explain something to you. So in the next step, we're going to remove the brackets, eh? So this is cos 40 and cos 20. They're both positive, so we can just write it like that. Then a positive times a positive is still a positive. But then that positive times a negative is a negative. And then negative this times this. Do you now see we have cos and cos, sine and sine? And you also notice that angle A and this angle A looks the same. Angle B and B looks the same. So we can now apply our formula. Let's highlight on our formula page. Cos, cos, sine, sine with a minus is this one. So therefore, when I put it in a bracket, it will look like this. So I write down cos A plus B. So what was angle A? Angle A was the 40. What is angle B? It's the 20. And because 40 and 20 are like terms, this is cos 60. But we're not done. Cos 60 is a special angle. And we know cos 60 is a half. And there you solved it. Let's look at number 2. So number 2, here we have a cos sine, sine, sine. Okay, so the first thing I notice is I have cos sine but 2 sines here. I don't have a compound that looks like that. I'm going to reduce my angles first. Let's go. So do you remember I told you we don't reduce angles that are smaller than 90. It means I'm only reducing that one and that one. The rest will stay the same. So this is cos 10 times sine 180 minus 20. Sine 10 stays the same, but this sine will become sine 180 minus 70. Now I'm going to reduce. This is cos 10 in a bracket. This is sine 20. This is quadrant 2. Sine is a positive. Minus sine 10. This is sine 70. This is quadrant 2. So sine is also a positive. So what do you notice now, grade 12s? Our angles are still not the same. So this is fine. But this 20 and this 70, this is a problem. Now do you remember in grade 11, the sine of 20 is exactly the same as the cos of 70, co-functions, because they add up to 90. So let's say you add sine 10, it's exactly the same as cos 80. Why? Because if you add them, they add up to 90. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to change this 70 over here. So everything else will stay the same. This sine 70 can be written as cos 20 cofunction. Now do you notice our angles are the same? A is A, B is B. And we are busy with a cos sign, a sine cos. Now if I look at my formula page, here's something similar to that, but the order isn't the same. If you look here, sine must go first, then cos. So I'm going to switch these two around. And then cos and then sine. I'm going to switch these two around. Let's go. Let's switch them. This becomes sine 20 cos 10 minus cos 20 sine 10. So if I'm using the yellow highlighted part, when I use the brackets, I must use this. I'm going to write it down. Sine A minus B. Sine, what's A? A is the first angle. So this is 20. And then what is the second angle? Minus. It's this one over here. And so the final answer is sine 10. 10 is not special, so this is my answer.